The Metropolitan Police anti-Semitism row continues, and we want your views on all of this very controversial subject.
Yeah, the Prime Minister has said that the Met Police Commissioner, Sir Mark Rowley, has questions to answer over what he's called the appalling treatment of a Jewish man during a pro-Palestine protest in London over the weekend. Many are now calling for Rowley to resign, including the former Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, live, as I say, 8 o'clock this morning on this very programme. But your views, very welcome in this. So I particularly want to hear from you this morning. If you are a police officer, will protect your identity, or a former police officer, what you think and how the police have been treated in all of this. Was this police officer simply doing his job and just saying, look, it would be dangerous for you to be identified during this rally as a Jew? That would not be good for your safety. But anyway, your views, very, very welcome. There you see it on screen, gbnews.com/have your say. Let's now have the say of Olivia Utley. Olivia?
Yeah, it feels at the moment as though Sir Mark Rowley is holding on to his job by the very tips of his fingers. Number 10 has refused to say that they have full confidence in him. They've essentially passed the buck on to the Home Office. James Cleverly, the Home Secretary, has said that he has confidence in Sir Mark Rowley, but that statement is undermined a little bit by the fact that he is going to be meeting Sir Mark Rowley later today. There was supposed to be a meeting between Chris Philp, the Policing Minister, and Rowley later this afternoon. That's now been upgraded, so James Cleverly is going along too. Mark Rowley will definitely be getting a big slap on the wrist. But will it go further than that? Well, I think quite possibly it might. There's a YouGov poll out today, front page of the Times, saying that half of the general public have lost confidence in the police. Now, that isn't specifically about this anti-Semitism incident. It's about a whole range of factors, including a rise in shoplifting, a rise in cybercrime, etc. But taken together, it feels a little bit as though Mark Rowley has sort of lost his grip. What James Cleverly will be saying to him today is essentially pushing him on whether he is going far enough to use all of the powers that the government has given the police. The government is essentially allowing the police to go a lot harder on protests than they're going. They can really at this point now ban protests, change routes, pretty much anything they want to do. And yet it feels at the moment as though Mark Rowley doesn't really want to do that. So that relationship between the Home Secretary and the Met Police Commissioner hasn't been good for a while. Is it about to get a whole lot worse?
Well, thank you, Olivia. Is this just now time for a lot of people just to have a lot of common sense about this? This police officer, actually, if you haven't heard what the police officer said on Saturday, this is exactly what happened. So remember, we don't have footage, we have images.
Yeah, it's just images, I believe.
Just images, right. OK, so basically, the guy involved, Gideon Falter, he's there with his skull cap. That police officer saying, look, I can't let you cross this road because it's going to be provocative, it's going to be bad for your safety and just general peace and order in the street at the Aldwych there at all. And he said it wouldn't be wise for you to cross that street. Now, that police officer's been hung out to dry. What else was he supposed to say? What else was he supposed to do? Let us know your views. I mean, you've got Sunak jumping on the wagon with all of this, saying, oh, Rowley should... Was he calling for Rowley to go? Yes.
He hasn't gone that far, but he's refused to say he's got full confidence in him. It's interesting because Gideon Falter, he clearly says that he should be able to walk wherever he wants to as a Jew in his hometown, and that he doesn't feel safe as a Jewish person in London, which is clearly awful. But there also has to be questions, I think, and let us know what you think, about whether, indeed, if it was a football match and you had a fan from one particular team trying to cross a group of particularly noisy and perhaps you could say agitated football fans from their opposing team, would it be wise for the police officer to allow that person to cross through? That was the dilemma facing that police officer. Should Sir Mark Rowley lose his job over it? What would you do in that situation?
What sympathy do you have for the police officer involved in this? What was he supposed to do? Was he supposed to let Mr. Falter cross the road and maybe be beaten up? Let us know.